Hello, 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 and welcome back to a new stream. Today, I am going to be doing an interesting, mostly a brand new kind of stream. Hold on. I want to make sure, like, the audio is fine. There we go. Okay, that's still a bit loud. Still very loud, so let's try 50%. Okay, that's a lot better. So today I am kind of just doing a very basic stream. Building blocks. I might go with Prismarine just because it matches like the temple. And I feel like that would be really nice for like because I want to make like this village where it matches up with like the temples. Oh, and I need glass. No, that's not what I want. Page 1 or 2, connected glass. Not that one. I want clear. Here we go. Using extremely light mods just because I really don't like the way that the regular glass doesn't connect. So this is like perfect. So I'm gonna focus on this area for right now. I'm just gonna get a rough outline. I'm doing in this creative because I am not gathering like all these Prismarine anything. What a nice chill stream today. Yeah, that's fine. Tracker. I'm doing great. And oh, peaceful. There we go. I'm only doing peaceful for right now because it's loud as hell. I'm doing good. I figured I might as well get a stream in today because I'm wanting to get used to streaming most days, and in anticipation for October. I think that's big enough. Just getting something so I can understand. I'm gonna have this even so that way I can because I'm obsessive at times. No, I need gravel now. Natural blocks gravel. I'm gonna use Prismarine just strictly for now. Five, 6. I think 10 should be enough. Hey, that's fine. Minecraft is a very simple game, so it's not like there's a lot going on in terms of literally anything. It's a very chill game. Which is why I chose it. I have the difficulty setting modified, so I don't have to deal with the enemies when I'm building, but I can check to see if it would be safe when I'm done. Especially since the drown do get annoying. Right now, I have very few mods in the game. Usually I have World Edit, but I think World Edit isn't available yet because it's such a new update. I think version 120.1 just came out recently, so it's not like they have the ability to use World Edit. And World Edit is very useful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that just gives you the ability to I'm gonna delete that sooner or later, but it is. Right now I'm building an underwater city because I just really love the aesthetic of it. So right now this is just the underwater dome for said city. And I'm doing it in Prismarine, even though the regular, those are just bricks, but I'm doing it in Prismarine just because I want to connect this to an underwater temple at some point, and I figured having Prismarine as the base for, the dome part would make it blend in so much better. I should turn my mic up. Even just a little bit. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want it like 10 blocks difference. Or at least about. Five, 6, 7, 8. I'll just deal with it. I don't feel like going back and like editing just because like one spot is a bit weird. It's gonna be weird on the other side, but oh well. I've always been obsessed with like making an actual underwater city. Oh, right, I can do a I can get these like done well shit. There we go. I know, I just think there's something really nice about the underwater landscape. It just takes a lot of work. Like, this is gonna be more of a tourist area rather than a place where people live. So, like, there are going to, like, I'm not gonna modify the structures too much. But it's gonna be like people live on a farm and it lives like, the villagers live near here and yep, because creative mode's really powerful. You can't really suffer from anything. I'm gonna use this area right here as like an entry and exit way. So that way, like, it makes sense for why it's more narrow. And it's not just, I'm really shit at math. Okay. And there are gonna be like a few stops along the way, like each and every, like there are gonna be like a few houses every like 10 blocks or something, or like 10 blocks in between each place, but that 10 block count varies depending on, okay, cool. First, though, I want to get the glass in between here done first before I, like, switch on to doing the other things. And I'm going to switch the gravel to something else. Just because I don't like the gravel and how it looks. Not only that, but I feel like if I had, like, it would make more sense. Because it looks too natural, like the water can just seep in. So, I'm actually going to turn off the in-game music just because it does absolutely nothing, and go back and play some lo-fi. Done. I just don't want the lo-fi to be too powerful so that it, like, I'm gonna do this way. I'm gonna turn hostile creatures down to like 50-ish%, friendly creatures down to like 50-ish%. Cause the thing about Minecraft is that it doesn't keep the music going on all the time, which is kind of stupid because I really do love the Minecraft music. That's like my one major complaint with Minecraft. And the thing about Minecraft is I only, like, ironically enough, I usually just don't give a shit about actually creating the buildings. Like, normally I don't care about how they look. It's more about I like the way the stuff sounds. I love the ASMR of building stuff and smashing the windows. I'm strangely obsessed with that. But watching some person like me just do this over and over and over again would get very boring. Like, how many people want to sit there and listen to someone smash glass over and over and over again? To be fair, though, you're also watching me build something and talk instead of just me doing this. Whoa, shit. No, that's not what I wanted. Like, if I did that for an hour, I'm pretty sure you'd find that boring. But because you're watching me, like, build something, you're getting to, like, have the wonderful experience of watching something come to life. think what's funny is, like, Mojang has now, like, a new policy in place where it's, like, all of the stuff has to be suitable for 10-year-olds. And it's, like, what defines suitable for 10-year-olds? Like, I can understand there's some things where, like, everybody would universally agree is not, like, safe for kids. But, like, what about swearing? Like, depending on how, depending on how you describe it, like, some parents might find that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let my 10-year-old say the F-bomb. Like, just say, like, just blurt out fuck whenever they want because it's just a word. Whereas some parents are like, I cannot let my 18-year-old even know what the word damn is. So that's fun. Alright, here we go. And I do think that the one thing that Minecraft has going for it is that, like, if it wasn't, like, I think a good compromise for Mojang would be, if you're going to do anything based off of Minecraft, like, when it comes to, making money off of it, make sure that it is, like, explicitly stated that it's not for, like, in order to be able to keep your license for, like, multiplayer games, you have to, have, like, a reminder every time you join the server, hey, this is for people who are a certain age. And so that way people, are fully aware, like, certain things. Also, just saying, hey, if this is a server for 10-year-olds, if you do anything that is predominantly for, like, people over the age of 13 or something, and it's more adult-oriented, you could get banned. That way, it gives people more freedom to be able to, because not everybody who's playing Minecraft is, a child. Most people remember Minecraft from, like, years and years and years ago, because the game's been out forever, and so right now there are adults who have grown up on Minecraft. And it won't take long for there to be elderly people who grew up on Minecraft. Oh, I understand that. I find that swear words in general, like teaching kids, hey, let's not use, swear words all the time. Like, there are moments where it's an appropriate thing to do, but then there are moments where it's just not, like, necessary. The problem with saying, okay, we're never going to allow you to swear, is that, or even, like, use any bad kind of language, is that it limits the person's ability to express themselves in a healthy way. When I was a kid, I lived under a very strict rule where I wasn't allowed to swear at all, to the point where I wouldn't even swear in my head, but that meant that I had no way of expressing myself in a way that was healthy when I got angry. Like, I just had such bad anger issues, and those anger issues were made worse when I couldn't find a way to express myself. And a lot of times people wouldn't let me even be loud, so that made it even worse. And once I was able to start swearing and I gave myself that freedom, I actually became so much better off. Because at one point, it turned into, yeah, like, I just can't really describe it because my coping mechanisms were extremely unhealthy. Like, to the point where, it was borderline self-harm. Not borderline, it was just straight up. And so, it was like, once I started swearing, those bad behaviors stopped because I had another outlet. And I'm just a ball of anxiety, so I swear a lot more just because it's a way of preventing the anxiety from building up and just taking over. So, like, I'm biased. I view it through a lens of, what would you rather have? Someone say some mean words, which can hurt, but is ultimately less harmful than if someone uses their fist. Because no matter what, your actions are going to lead to people feeling stuff. You're going to feel emotions when someone does an action. You're going to feel emotions when someone says something. It's just that one can be, if you're a really good friend with someone, you're going to be more likely to be able to understand why they said something. Yeah, like, but the context does matter. Like, words can hurt, but a lot of times the reason why those words are really damaging is because they also carry the meaning behind it. So if you say something about a person, it means that sometimes words can translate to a physical action. So it's like, I'm ignoring you because you are the way you are. Or, I'm saying this because it's not socially acceptable for me to hurt you. And so that's what really hurts people. It's like I would do this if it wasn't for the fact that people are watching. And so it carries the connotation of the threat of something worse. So that's why some words can hurt worse. If you're good for someone and they say something out of like sheer anger, it can hurt, but you can also like understand like through the context of why the person is saying that versus or it's like, hey, this person has never shown that kind of behavior toward me before. And all of a sudden they're like possibly showing their true colors because this is why. It's usually never the words themselves that hurt, it's the meaning behind them and how they show the person's true opinion that can really do damage. And, like, I know this for a fact, mostly because it's a, being disabled, I've experienced a lot of things where it's like the other person might not think that what they're saying is harmful, but it's like, no, what you did say is harmful for, like, a myriad of reasons. Like, one of my teachers who was a special needs teacher would always say, everybody's disabled, a little disabled. And it's like, okay, I get what she's trying to say, but that's also kind of offensive because just because everybody has problems in some way, shape, or form does not mean that they're incapable of doing, like, standard activity. If everybody was disabled, then nobody is. It's just too extreme. Oh, no, no problem. I try to think rationally about everything that I'm about to say, and when I mean by rationally, I mean I will literally think about it like 10 seconds before I say it. And I have like a bad habit of just breaking into politics. It's just something that like cause when you're part of like several minorities, your entire life is dictated by politics. You are, by your very essence, political. I've never not been the subject of political debate and discourse. That's just like my entire life and in my entire existence has always been some form of politics. So it's hard to like separate my life from politics when just existing is something that a lot of people want to debate about. Being disabled, I'm legitimately an immigrant to the United States. I have a certificate of foreign birth. So, and even though like I've lived in the United States long enough to like rival that of like even my age. Like I've been in the United States longer than I've been alive. But like I can't go for president because in the US you have to be born in the US in order to be a president. So I couldn't do that because I literally am from another country. And like the only reason why anybody would like not consider me a foreigner is because I am white. So, which has its own problems. It's like, it's a double-edged sword. That and I'm like pretty good at English because when I was 3, I actually had to learn it. Like I had to come over to the United States and learn a second language. The only problem is that they didn't have at the time that I was really little in the late 90s, not early, very late 90s. They didn't have anybody who spoke Russian, so I kind of just lost my first language. But I have all of the benefits of someone who learned a second language without having the benefits of actually knowing 2 languages. Or at least all of them. Can't speak 2 languages, but I think like someone who speaks 2 languages. I have to keep in mind all of the ways I pronounce words. I keep in mind so many complicated things. It's like I'm translating everything, but I'm translating into nothing. So there are advantages to teaching a little kid, like, another language. I've actually been known to be extremely loud, mostly because I'm really good at enunciating my words. And so, when you're able to enunciate really well, you end up being extremely loud. Because you can project your voice so much better. Which is why, like, I never want to visit Europe, just because, it's like the stereotype of, oh, Americans are really loud, and it's like, my entire life, I was loud for Americans. Like, I've had Americans tell me to be quiet. So, like, it was kind of like, okay, if Americans are telling me to be quiet, and Europeans are telling standard Americans to be quiet, I'm pretty sure every European within, like, a 500, within, like, a 200-mile radius would be like, oh my gosh, what is that loud thing in the distance? Let's see here. Oh, I only speak one language at the moment, so, English is the only language I know, but my original language was Russian. I was born in Petrozavodsk, Russia, in 1994, so about 2 years after the fall of the Soviet Union. My original language was Russian. Well, I can't do a proper, oh god, what is it? There are two, hold on, where's my phone? Because I need to find it. There are a, so, IPA chart. And I'm only looking this up because there are two ways to roll your R's, and I just can't remember the one way to do it, like what it's called, so. No. Ah, here we go. So, there's something known as the post-alveolar trill, or the alveolar trill. It can be called either, I think. And it basically means that the tongue trills the R for you, whereas I can do a uvular trill, which is a trill done with the uvula, or that little boxing thing that's at the back of your throat. So I can do like a r, and I've been able to do that my entire life. And so that's because I'm literally from Russia, and a lot of people from places where they have the alveolar trill, they also allow the uvular trill because they're extremely similar. And unless you're like a native, like who uses both, which almost no language use both, you really can't tell the difference. Like in Spanish, they use the alveolar trill, but a lot of people who can't do the alveolar trill, they'll use a uvular trill instead. But it's like, because that's a very common speech impediment, and so there are, the uvular trill is sometimes used for people who have that speech impediment, so they can actually use that. Yeah, what was it? I can't remember which one is which for Spanish. I know that, the word perro, I think either mean, there's perro and perro, and one of them means dog, and the other means, like but, as in, but this, I think. It's been a while since I took Spanish, I know French is, like, really hard for a lot of English speakers because it has a lot of uvular sounds, which a lot of English speakers aren't used to. Let me just look up again, because I have these charts right in front of me. Consonants, yeah, like, I think it's like a, oh yeah, like the uvular fricative, which is, no, sorry, I accidentally did a uvular trill. It's a, And so that's a lot harder for people to speak. And that's usually at like in the middle of syllables too, so having to switch to that is extremely difficult. I think German has something similar where it's right in between oh, what's the word? It's night. So the word Nacht is really difficult for English speakers to do because the sound and the k sound are so close together that it would be very easy for someone to accidentally say Nacht. Because you want to put that K sound. You want to close the your palate so that it completes the sound, but you're not supposed to. So it's why there's an English accent when people say Nacht or Acht. Especially since, if you look on the International Phonetic Alphabet, it's basically like this triangle where it goes T, K, and then that particular sound, which, because I'm insane, yeah, it goes like, the sound itself that I'm thinking of is a velar fricative. And so because it's a velar fricative, it's really close to the K sound. And that would mean that going from... And then K is just a velar version of T. And so because they're all so similar to one another, it's so easy to put a K sound in between there. Because it would, because it's like you have to skip a step. And for English speakers who are used to the T and K sound, they're not going to be able to, like, mindlessly go from to T without the K sound. If that makes any sense. Of course, I'm probably also, like, screwing up the pronunciation because I'm not a native, German speaker, so these sounds are not often used in English. Even in English, the only time we see, often, like the, velar fricative is when we use the word, when we say the word loch. And even then, I'm probably mispronouncing with adding a K sound to it. I just know, like, a lot about German, and a lot about foreign languages, because I'm a language nerd. And, like, that's, like, my most passionate subject is languages in general. I hold the language nerd title with pride. Like, if someone said, oh, you're not a language nerd, I would take that as insult. Like, it's like, how dare you say that I do not, like, pointlessly sit there and study languages? I know, like, 1,000 facts, and the 1,000 facts that I know are basically about languages. There are, like, a few things outside of that, but for the most part, it's, like, phonetics and how languages work. And a lot of that is because I had to learn another language as, like, a little kid. Delete that. I kind of think if it wasn't for the fact that it's like physically impossible to find a school that teaches it, I would really love to learn sign language and translate that into sign writing, because I feel like there's just not enough material for people to learn. And the thing is, unlike a lot of other languages, sign language is one of those few that, like, it's actually really necessary for people. Because if English died out, it would be so easy to find another language for people to speak. But sign language, if nobody taught sign language ever, a lot of deaf people would be kind of out of luck. Because it's their only way to communicate. And for, like, non-deaf people, it's really hard to find materials that they can, like, consume to keep up with their knowledge of the language. Because you need to practice it. You need to keep watching and communicating with people. Even just reading in your target language can really solidify how you want. And when I took sign language for like a very basic course, my teacher was like, watch videos and read books and translate those into sign language. And it's like, okay, but sign language is an extremely visual medium. Why should I translate when there's like so, like, you could possibly make books out of it? And so it's just like, it would make sense to have like independent study material that doesn't rely on electronics or video. So you don't have to pause the video, you can just like stop at a line on a page and then like resume. And while I don't think we should have like a single universal language that takes over everything, I do 100% believe that if we wanted a universal language, oh yeah, knowing more than one language is always beneficial, especially if you have to keep in mind like where you're from. I just think that sign language would be more of a beneficial lingua franca, because the problem is with spoken language, there is not a single language, there's not a single sound on Earth that is shared by every single language. And even then, the amount of sounds that are shared among most languages, they're very few and far between. So it would be extremely difficult to teach someone how to speak the same language when like the sounds are not native to their own language. When it comes to sign language, you would need very little adaptation in order to make it understandable by everybody. And it would only be physical limitations, not necessarily based off of culture, but just by physical disability. So it'd be like arthritis or an amputation / blindness that would prevent someone from being able to communicate in one standard way. But that's still a problem for, like, sign language in general. And so there's always going to be, like, something. You can't have a contingency plan for literally everything. You just kind of have to hope for the best. And I would not, like, Like, the thing that would really stop a sign language from being universal, sadly, is what's stopping sign language from being taught in general, and that is it's not usually viewed as a real language, even though definitionally it counts. So long as you can convey meaning and hold down a conversation to get complicated ideas out, it's a language. And complicated meaning literally just being able to put in a subject, verb, object. Not particularly in that order, just you need one of those three things. So long as you have two of those, you have a complicated sentence, and that sentence is capable of being a language. You basically need some form of grammar. So even being able just to say, "I hungry," is enough to be considered a language. But when it comes to linguistics, I'm extremely liberal in what I consider to be a language. But writing system itself does not count as a language. Not necessarily. So, for example, Braille is not a language because it's a substitute for the Latin alphabet, and the Latin alphabet does not, it's representative of sounds, but it's not representative of, like, those concepts. Hieroglyphics is more, or Chinese characters are more akin to being their own language, but still, they contain meaning, and that meaning is the language, not necessarily the characters themselves. Aha. Let me see. I want to get some sea cucumbers so that I can light up the area, just because it's really dark. Oh, it'd be under functional. I try to study before I say much. I got really lucky when it comes to sign language because my teacher, she did an entire history on deaf culture, and so I have a much better understanding than the average person about the limitations of certain things. Like, for example, I was taught the reason why the deaf community as a whole is not a big fan of cochlear implants or hearing aids is because even today, a lot of children are given those hearing aids and given cochlear implants, but are not taught sign language. And so that is a major problem because it's like, okay, but that child is still deaf. By the legal definition, they cannot hear without external help. And so, because of that, they're still deaf, but they're not taught something that can help them. And, like, I know this one girl, she was given the option for hearing aids, but they never explicitly told her, oh, by the way, if you go for hearing aids, no, if you don't go for hearing aids, we're not going to teach sign language. And so she was forced to literally just learn how to lip read and things like that. And the sad thing was, is like, she rejected the hearing aids because they're like, okay, you can go for cochlear implants, which is just a giant surgery, or, And she just got scared because she's a kid. She's a little kid who doesn't know, like, what surgeries are. She's scared, and yet they didn't give her a full chance to understand what was happening. That wasn't part of my sign language class. I just, that was more of standard research that I was doing outside of that. But she was not given the full information or the full context to understand, like, okay, if I do this, then this is gonna happen. And so, like, is it any surprise that because a lot of people are not given the full information that they need to make good decisions, they might be a bit bitter about the fact that they were kind of lied to? And even then, like, a lot of children, if they're taught sign language, their family kind of doesn't learn. So it's one of those situations where parents don't actually meet their children's, like, needs. And frankly, I just find that borderline, not even borderline, it is child abuse. To deny your kid the ability to learn a language that they need to survive. And so when people hear hearing aids, they hear about these kinds of things, they kind of freak out because it's like, okay, are we going to be taking away a person's right to choose how they want to navigate the world? Because a lot of times, parents will think, okay, because a kid has hearing aid, they're no longer deaf, we don't need to teach sign language, we're good to go. And not all parents think that, but it's because there's so many that it leaves deaf people a bit more hesitant to just go in and accept this concept. So, like, it's our job to, like, to really be compassionate and understand that where they're coming from is from a place where there was a history. This is where you can't ignore history. You can't ignore the past because it's a minority that has gone through a lot, and so it's kind of, it would, not even kind of, it would just be straight up ignorant to pretend that those things didn't exist or didn't happen. And even as far as, like, modern day, there were, like, a lot of parents who were like, oh, hey, no problem. Yeah, there were, like, a lot of parents who were, so desperate to get their kids to not be, deaf that they did random crazy shit, so that's fun. People be weird. And just some tips for those who really want to help, like, those who are, like, a minority. Before you do a lot, just do some research. Basic research into the history always matters, because even though it's in the past, a lot, especially if it's still more modern, like, if people can remember it, then they're going to be basing it off their, like, a lot of people are going to be basing their beliefs off of those. Even if it's just from secondhand information. Secondhand information can be just as powerful as firsthand. Because especially if they grew up with that. If they grew up with that information, then it's going to be how they interact with the world and how they view their relationship with everybody outside of that community. Okay, I didn't know if that froze or not. I'm just gonna restart it. Okay. I think I'm gonna put, like, prismarine blocks in the, like, real quick, I'm gonna replace, like, these hatches. No, not that one. That. I feel like replacing some of these, hatch pieces with some prismarine, with sea lanterns. Not prismarine, but replace them with sea lanterns would make it really cool. It especially adds some needed lights down here, because it's dark AF. I'm gonna replace some of these corner blocks too. Nice. Then I'll resume the... Then I'll resume, like, putting the glass up, and I can empty out the water. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure, like, there are no dolphins or anything, because I don't want to kill the dolphins. I like the animals. I'm an animal person. But before I do that, I'm gonna add, like, another layer. Like, once I do that, I'm gonna probably add another layer of glass and whatnot, because I absolutely despise the, or I can just turn them off, actually. Yeah, I can probably just turn off the water dripping effect. I absolutely despise that effect. So this is gonna be, like, the front of, like, the entire thing, because those are gonna be the entrances and exits of it. Oh my gosh, I didn't want that. And I'll replace, like, the ground. Like, after I get the water out, because, oh my gosh, that would be a pain when I have to deal with, like, the gravity of the water. I think I can use ropes to get the animals out, but I'm gonna, like, leave, like, one space open. Okay. Perfect. Nice. Ah, man. Oh, I have downloads. Downloads. Come on. Library. I would have sworn like I had like one video that I downloaded and it was free. Sorry for the pause. This is like deleted D&D. Weird. Oh yeah, cause like it's hopefully this like downloads fast enough. Just gonna be without the music. Oh hey, that's no problem. I had like technical difficulties where cause if I have if I'm streaming, sometimes my music is really a pain, so but I understand. Exit. Oh no. So yeah, right now I'm just like getting all these glasses covered and then hopefully I can get rid of some of the animals that are possibly inside here. Because I don't want them to die. Yeah, like, I'm like an hour in and I'm only like just starting to finish up the giant dome. Okay, that's still... This would have been a lot done... This would have been done faster had I had, if I had World Edit, but I don't, and so... Oh well. What's interesting, I just remembered there is a, there are a few language dubs that are in Native American languages, but they're not readily available to the general public, which is so interesting. Like, there is the movie Moana, which is available in the Native Hawaiian language, but it was never made for a public release. Like, they distributed it to some, like, they distribute it to Hawaiian schools. But, like, if you're not in a Hawaiian school, you can't find it. It's, like, physically impossible. Which is kind of stupid, considering the fact, like, if you, for kids, they need media to be able to, retain their, the language of their goal. And what better way than to have, like, a kids' film? Kids' films are the best way to learn a language because the dialogue is designed to be a lot more simplistic. They have to convey more complicated ideas in a sentence structure that isn't as complicated because they're dealing with children whose speech level is not that of an adult. So you're less likely to see extremely complicated grammar and things like that. Not to say that there isn't complicated grammar, it's just that it's not like you're dealing with, you're just less likely. Oh no, you can find, it's just that for a Moana, they never publicly released it. It was literally, like, you could hear, like, some of the clips and such. Disney has some ways to, like, advertise it, but for the most part, I've looked it up. Yeah, like, Disney, as of now, has not publicly released it, so you can't, go to, like, iTunes and buy it. And there are, I think it's the Cherokee, edition of Finding Nemo, which exists. Yeah, like, we know it, it's just that Disney hasn't released it. So a lot of the stuff from the 1800s, we can find that because it was made for the public. And so because it was already made for the public, it's easy to find. Also, that doesn't even fall under the copyright system anymore. Though the stuff from the 1800s really sucks because it's, that's an example of something where the language and how things have changed, where, like, that's how you can tell, like, the differences between kids stuff and adults. Like, I understand that we shouldn't treat kids like they are stupid, but at the same time, the 1800s stuff for kids is, like, they treated them like mini adults. And that's just as bad as treating kids like they have no idea of what's going on, because it's like, okay, we have little kids that are supposed to be learning to read, and then all of a sudden you have like the most complicated grammar stuff imaginable. Like M. It's from Mouse. The mouse is going down the water slide to do something, and it's like, oh yeah, this is for like 4-year-olds. But we're getting, like, far beyond, like, the early, 1900s and late 1800s. Thank God. Though we're kind of going back to that, depending on, who you, are talking to. I'm gonna try to get these walls done, and then I'm gonna take, like, a slight break. Aha. This is a bit close than what I wanted it to be, but at the same time, I don't mind. Yeah, like, there's just so much, because I still have to do the other side. No, I hate when I do that. My brain, I don't even know why I did that. That was stupid. Yeah, this particular wall. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully I'm going to leave you on with some wonderful music, and I will be right back. Thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate it. And on that note, I will be back. And I am back. Main menu, turn the music down a little bit. Thank you very much. Oh, I forgot to turn that tournament off. Oh well. I normally play TLD. I just didn't feel like doing TLD this morning. I woke up and I'm like, I feel like doing like an underground water city for Minecraft. And I started doing that, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I need to stream more, and I can possibly just stream. There really isn't anything stopping me from doing a stream, so here I am. Okay, so I got that done. Oh wait, I actually did get all of the walls done. Nice. I'm just gonna head back over this way. Where are those walls that it's like short? Yep, here you are. And I really appreciate it. So I might as well destroy some of these glass walls. Just so I can get in. I need... Perfect. Getting, like, no water is gonna be, like, a pain. I'm sorry you're injured. What happened? Do you feel like sharing what happened? Or, is that like a I don't feel like / I can't share because of legal reasons? Ah, shit, I didn't mean to delete that. Oh well. Okay, let's see here. Getting rid of all this water is the biggest pain. Even with like a million sponges. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you get better. And, oh gosh. And I'm really happy that you volunteered to help with that. I think that's really nice. Yeah, but it's also, like, a thing that, like, you chose to do. Like, there are other jobs available, and yet you still said, you know what? I have, like, so many other options, and I'm still going to choose the one that helps the most amount of people. So, that's how I view it. Nice. Before I quit my job, I used to work in retail, and while it was just too much at one point. It just got a lot. But, like, I'm trying to find a job that can be beneficial to everybody else, but also, like, doesn't drive me to complete insanity. I'm missing something, because holy shit, why is there still filled with, like, a ton of water? Like, that's not filled with water. Aha! Just gotta take it one square at a time. Oh yeah. But it also, like, just because it's the nature of my disability, I just can't take on too much at the same time. Because I loved working retail, it's just that I was given the job of, like, a manager, where they were like, okay, we need you to do, like, this, this, and this, but it was getting too much. Especially since I was making, like, $13 an hour, and where I was, that wasn't a lot of money, because that was starting pay. It wasn't like, okay, $13 an hour is what you get after working for, like, several years. It was like, no, that's, like, everybody's pay. When you start off, every new employee gets $13 an hour. And I've been working there 4 years. So it was like a combination of, like, so many factors. And it was just getting complicated where I couldn't even get, like, my managers to, make accommodations for my disability. So finding the main source of these water spouts is a pain. Oh, you don't. You don't. And the thing is that due to my disability, I can't work that many hours in order to make, like, a full amount. Like, I was vaguely making anything. Let's go with this. Add some light to the situation. But yeah, you didn't. Nobody made enough money. Most people only stayed at that job because they worked forever. Almost everybody else quit. And the thing is, like, rent around where I am is so much money. It's not even funny. It's like $2,000 a month for a studio apartment. But to be fair, like, rent, like, is that way everywhere, so it's not just us. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, my recommendation is refresh the page. A lot of times the no ads only kicks in after you've refreshed. Also, I kind of felt like doing that because I really like talking to you, and it helps you out with less ads. Let's see here. How do we get... Haha! Oh, shit, that's not what I meant. Oops. In general, my favorite kind of music overall is any sort of folk music. Like, that's usually on average the most I enjoy, but I'm not fussy. So long as it sounds good, I will love it. Let me delete half these blocks because they're making it really difficult to tell, like, what I need to do next. Okay. Ooh. I can always do this, where I can just go for, like, each and every segment so that it's not as overwhelming. I also like music that I can sing to. I do love singing, it's just that I'm not good at singing, like really fast, like, heavy stuff. And this isn't because I'm a bad singer, it's just because my vocal range is much better suited for, folk music. That's just the way I am as a singer. Because, almost all singers have that style that their voice is much suited better for. Whether it because of their personality or just the way their, the vocal cords are. But on average, if it's a, I usually gravitate toward, darker music in terms of, like, tone. Or songs that make you think. It's, like, no criticism toward people who really love songs that have, like, a lighthearted message into them. It's just not me. I like songs that make me think. Mighty, hi! Welcome! Yeah, I felt like doing a Minecraft stream today. Like, right now, my, like, favorite song, There are two songs that I'm really obsessed with. One is called cool. I'm cheating, yes, but you know what? I want to cheat today. And that's my prerogative. I'm only cheating myself. It's Minecraft. I get it. I know, like it's not that serious. But still. I'm cheating myself. Absolutely. I have no idea how to get these motherfuckers to work to my advantage. Because I'm in the ocean too. Oh yeah. Top up. So long as I don't accidentally destroy my glass blocks that are actually, you know, keeping things together. I'm just gonna spam the, this button until I no longer feel it's necessary. Aha! I love trading monuments in general. When I played Minecraft, like, back at the beginning of the pandemic, what I did was, I just made, like, a giant pit. Oh yeah, like, that's what I did in, like, during the, like, it was either making a giant pit to hell, or, basically doing a, or just emptying out a water temple, and I would do absolutely nothing with water temple afterward. I just started a new project, because that was, like, just so much fun, just draining the water temples. That, and also I had absolutely no clue what I was going to do afterward. I was like a dog chasing their own tail. Like, I had a goal in mind, but I had no idea what I was going to do after I got to it. I'm one of those people that, like, I don't mind grindy situations as much. My issue is, like, once I, get done with certain things, like, so long as the grindy situation is, like, the same thing. So ocean monuments are so much easier to, take care of than squares, just because. Oh yeah. I've always wanted, like, I'll usually empty them out. And then, like, but I'm just, like, really shit at, like, sticking to, like, one project. It's kind of like, I love the process of emptying it so much and exploring the temple that once I'm done, it's kind of like, time to move on to the next thing, which is also doing the exact same thing. I can't remember. Let's see here. I don't think you can. Combat tools and utilities. Where is it? Looking for a very particular thing because here we go. I can't remember. Now you can't set shit on fire down here. Oh, I can. Oh yeah, usually that's what I do too, but it's kind of like, my brain is one of those things where, it's kind of like, if I can't show off what I made, then what's the point? So that's why I'm trying to get into streaming Minecraft, because it's like, maybe if I show off the magnificent magnum opus that I created, it will make it a lot easier to stick with the project. Because, like, I have a brain that's really, really weird. Then again, though, I have, like, really good ways of, like... so I got that layer done. Ooh, a chest. What's inside said chest? Nothing I need, because frankly, I'm like... a gold helmet, rotten flesh, and a stone axe. Sure, let's go with that. Also, I made the character skin. That's partially. I took like a template and then I edited some of it. I didn't create the full thing. There's like one thing, like, the one thing that I really love in the whole wide world is I love terracotta, like the natural color of terracotta. That's just like my favorite color in the, it's next to blue and terracotta. I genuinely love that color. I'm biased as hell. Mostly because when I grew up, that was like my mom's go-to color for like everything when it comes to makeup. She would have this, I distinctly remember her having this like terracotta colored lipstick, and I was just obsessed with it. Though I never wore it because I absolutely cannot stand, I just have sensitive skin, so I can't wear makeup. And that was like the color of my mom's hair for like years and years and years, was like this reddish terracotta. And so like as an adult, when it comes to buildings and things like that, or literally anything, I love more natural colored buildings. I just gravitate toward that. Besides, it's a really nice, soothing color because it's similar to red. It basically is a reddish color, but it's much more toned down and subdued. The same way I like turquoise. And that's what basically this color is anyway. It's a turquoise. I think Java? I doubt this is Bedrock Edition. I have no idea, to be honest. I remember when Minecraft came out for iPhone, that was when I started to get a bit more interested in it, but oh, hey, no problem. But that was mostly because, like when it came out for iPhone at first, I literally, used it just so that I could, I used the iPhone edition because I love the fact that I could, I didn't even make any buildings. The first time I played Minecraft, I literally just created blocks of TNT just to light up and blow up. I was literally like, oh my gosh, I can create these giant buildings of TNT, and I can blow them the fuck up. That's it. That's all I use Minecraft for. Just TNT blocks and destroying everything. And that would occupy me for hours. That's how easily entertained I was as a child. It was like, oh my gosh. This is dynamite. Oh gosh, yeah. Because it was just so much fun. And then, like, I downloaded the game, like, several years later as, an adult. And, again, the first thing I did when playing Minecraft was, after many years, was create an entire TNT block. And I made it so big that I actually crashed the game when I blew it up. The entire thing just crashed. And I was so proud. I find survival to be, it's fun, but at the same time, I just don't have the patience for it. I wonder, I'm just gonna check something real quick. So, edit capture real quick. Can't remember if this is gonna be, cancel. Oops. Sorry. It is world edit. Let's go with world. Because I might just restart, all game versions 20.1. Oh well. World edit does make things so much easier. Okay, so which... Oh, yeah. Let's go with Minecraft cheats. Replace water fast. Ah, cool. Though this, I don't know if that, I think that only works with, like, Bedrock Edition, and I don't think I'm in Bedrock Edition, so. Oh yeah, World Edit just makes it easier to do that because you have a magic wand that automatically selects that area for you. Oops. World Edit is surprisingly easy, it's just that I don't have it on here. Or I could just do it now, Minecraft 20... Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save and quit to title. Because I think I have to load it in. Let's see your options. Resource packs. I kind of didn't mean to do that. Done. Exit out of this real quick. Fabric. Play. This will take a minute, but... I just want to make it, like, more fun because it's, like, temporarily I'm going to be, like, not playing the game, but that means that I can play the game longer. Oh, and once I start the game and I click a new city, it's going to be, like, a bit buffery, so it might... The audio is going to be weird. That's how it is. Might as well pause. Here. Aha! Perfect! God, I missed World Edit. Oh, that's fine. I think it's... air? I'm trying to get out of here. I missed World Edit. Ah, here we go. Oh. Replace wet sponge with air. And there are like very few places where there's like, I'm gonna need to replace. Might miss a few things, but for the most part... places that I can't get to because, like, something else is in the way, like the bubbles. I hate when I accidentally do that, though. Yeah, because those aren't even water, they're just water spouts, and that makes a huge difference. Oh yeah, like any of those blocks, it just prevents it. Ooh. That sounds really nice, actually. I have no idea why I suddenly sounded like Oh, I forgot this one. Oops. Weird. And now we have a ton of bats. And now this is where the magic happens. I can just select these. Replace with prismarine bricks. And so I don't have to lay down each and every single one. I wonder if terracotta would actually look really good with this color. Oh, and conveniently enough, like, there's so much, because I'm on a flat world, there's like a metric ton I can do. Ooh, pretty. I can always, like... Actually, I might just remove all the gravel just because I'm really not a big fan of gravel. And it'll make it a bit easier to, like, tell what I can do and what I shouldn't do. So I'm gonna remove all the gravel real quick. Oh, we're... Oh. Say get rid of that. I love how this is like just like naturally just floating in the air. There's like so many fishing rods in these places. Let me get to this trunk. Oh. Stone bricks. That should work. Oh, and I forgot to put the music back on. Oops. I like the idea of just like rebuilding. And I'll like build windows if like necessary, but for the most part. Okay. Nope. But I'm gonna focus on one building at a time instead of like doing like 6. I think those are dark. Cool. Yep. I want to keep like the general gist of the buildings. I don't need that. I always like the dark oak doors, just because I think they look nice. I don't need that anymore. Oh, I could use Prismarine's brick stairs instead. That would actually blend in so well. What do you guys think? Prismarine stairs or brick stairs? Would that like to match? It's too dim. Oh, like these stairs or, no, that's not that. This one. I'm just gonna get rid of that. So, like, instead of that, like, does that look better because it, like, blends in more? Or does the Prismarine because it, like, creeps up? I don't know. Right now, I'm just looking for, like... Okay, that looks good. Oh, I forgot. Let's go with functional blocks. I'm gonna do a light blue bed. No, cyan. Cyan matches. I'm gonna just replace that real quick. I'm just gonna use that as a placeholder for right now, but I think that would be like a really cool place for, like this is the bathroom. So like you have like a small bathroom. Located this way. I'll decorate each house later because I want to just focus on building the structures. Delete that. And this is where I'm just going to build like a giant farm. So instead of spruce, I'm gonna go with that because it really does add like some more coolness to it. Okay, I want at least 3 blocks. Mostly because, so, 1, 2, 3. It might be my on my end, because it is slightly acting up. Yeah, I'm having a few, dropped frames. It's not that bad, but it is acting up a bit. I wonder. Settings. Dang. Exit that. Holy shit, all of a sudden it can't handle it. Options. Video settings. Let's see if that actually improves the situation. Because it might just be like the way my game is. Ah. I was getting like an error, not an error. It did show that I was having some drop frames anyway, so there's that. Okay. Yeah, if I go too fast, then my internet is weird. I want to create at least a farm. Hopefully I'm solving some of the problems. Oh, right. I wonder. Oh, that's even better. Alright, options. Accessibility. Can I turn off, Okay, I'm gonna go done with that. Clouds fancy. Particles. Let's see if that does something. Okay, good. I genuinely just don't like particle. I didn't want that. Options. Can I turn them off, though? Video settings. I hate particles. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two. And I think that's enough. I'm gonna just do the end here. Let's go with water bucket. And where's the warped trap door? Just so I can stick with, like, the theme. I didn't mean that. I can always replace these blocks with a, it gives it more light. I always do that, though. Aha! Nice. So I have plenty of light here. I don't need that. Wonder. Okay, that's just a light rod. And I want to get rid of that. I'm gonna make that the entranceway. But for right now, I need the, I'm gonna do this for right now. Recovery compass, I don't need that. What do I need, though? Carrot on a stick. What am I thinking of? All of a sudden I'm blanking. Because there was something right, functional box, but I needed the, it'd be under tools. Tools and utilities, I'm looking, or functional blocks where it's the, this is it. I need a composter. Wheat seeds. Switch those two around. Awesome. Let's go with, spawn eggs. We're gonna go with villager. he should go for being composter too, for the farmer too. I don't know why he isn't, but maybe because there's only one bed? How many beds do I have? Okay, I only have one, but that's fine. I'll just give him like a very quick bed to sleep in. Might as well till this field real quick. Let's go with I wonder. Huh. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just gonna write that just in case. Huh. Let's see if I can. Okay. So, my end is doing well. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just really weird today. Okay, I'll give you a bed. Because clearly you're too incompetent to go all the way over there. You're just gonna... let myself sleep. Yay, it's daytime! One of you guys pick that up? Oh well. Let's go with... I'm gonna go with this real quick. Let's get these. Perfect. Now, where should the door be? I'm gonna say here. Dark oak planks. Just yeet that. Let's go with prismarine blocks. Just so I have some light. Perfect. Okay, that's gonna be the door. And yeah, these are gonna be just like really tiny places to live. It's like the micro houses of nice. Instead of this, because I'm done with those for right now. Oh, and I need a door. These guys love doors. Perfect. Hi. I'm gonna make you guys go inside. Might as well replace some of these so that I can, like, have less darkness. I think I might do something like Minecraft Mondays. And actually, we got that. ingots, iron block, and carved pumpkin. Perfect. I'm gonna get like 2 of these. And we're gonna go with, and see if that like spawns anything that like in this area. Ah, nice. Nothing's in there. Nothing but bats. Haha. He's stuck outside. Ah. Should add like a door here instead of door. I'm gonna delete those 2 blocks just because. I'm gonna go back to peaceful just so I can add more light blocks. Eventually. Wonder if I could offer an iron ingot. Okay, that does heal him. Greetings. So we have that. Remove the beds real quick. Oh. Perfect. I just like adding more light sources, even if it doesn't make complete sense. The more light sources, the better, damn it. cool. Ah, yes, I can repair that. Let's see here. Let's give these... No. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I wanted. Of course, if I just leave it this way, then you can actually see the design of the top of the turret. Ooh, that looks pretty, actually. Yeah, that looks so much better, actually. Gives it a bit more flavor. Ooh. Nice. Not a furnace. Okay, anvil. Ooh, an anvil and a blast furnace. Oops. And ignoring all the places with stairs. Just so we have, like, a lot of light. I like just an ungodly amount of light. I'm gonna make that even. I mean, and these do look like natural buildings, so it's... Yep, those are guys who are sleeping. I'll deal with that in some time. It is Monday, so... Oh, yeah. I only said that because we usually have mail, and it is like 2 o'clock, so... Almost. I'm gonna get what, where's the Prismarine? Let's replace that with the... Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get some of these seeds planted so I have like a better field. Which is like a lot of crops. I think this is a good place where I'm gonna wrap up for like right now. I should be back on later today. It's just, I think this is a good place for me to like take a break, get something to eat, and then be back. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Humble Tracker for the bits, and thank everybody for who watches my streams afterward. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mighty Hire, for being here. Let's see if there's anybody I can raid. Twitch TV. And thank you, my hire, for being here. I'm gonna go and raid the Peach Bee. Because, I really like her. And she started like an hour ago, but... So... Raid channel, the Peach Bee, start raid.
Hey, love. Thanks for the raid. Oh. Oh, he can't do anything.